investor for the last 30 years, consultant for as many years, coaching for 15 plus years, and also as a mentor that I started about 5 years ago. And I welcome you to beautiful downtown hot. Well, obviously, we're in times that are very challenging. We're coming off the pandemic. Actually, it's not over yet. There's a war going on, there's climate change, there's a lot of disruption, and there's a lot of ambiguity of how we should show up. And it also depends on the industry. Depends on the industry, depends on the leadership. Elon Musk will say, you know, we don't want you. If you don't want to come to work at the office, we don't want you. Go stay somewhere else. Or you could take Salesforce with Mark Benoff. He says, yeah, we're a software company, work at home. And so it depends on the industry. And Apple's in the middle. Apple's like, okay, we want you back. We want you back. Maybe we want you back. And they are a technology company. And for some companies that are manufacturing, they need to be hands-on. Starbucks, of course, never had work from home because they can't. They're front and center. So, and of course, they've started to have some changes too. The leadership changed. So it depends. We're in a flux here, but I really think we're shifting the leadership that Jeff is talking about from a more dictatorial command and control aspect, and I'm talking more in the Western areas as opposed to the Middle East. So certainly in those areas, we're used to thinking, what is the best way to approach? How do we get better results with what we have? And the better results have proven to be that people can work, for those that can work from home, and those that want to work and come to the office. Many are saying for the younger people, it's beneficial because you can interact with people. So there's a hybrid that's going on. But here's the point, is that leadership is starting to pay attention to results. How do we get the best results? And that's the focus of a business. And the best results are really one of collaboration. Let's work together. Let's communicate better. Let's find out more about you. And this is more in the Western countries, I think, in the U.S., which I'm more familiar with, maybe the European part, maybe the Australian part. The other parts of the world are still very different, although in the Asian countries, I'm familiar with Malaysia and Singapore, they are a lot more forward. They follow what U.S. does. So there's different areas. But if we're talking about the U.S. here, we're talking about situations that we're understanding that we could do better by being able to empower the people, to be able to give them the coaching or empathetic or things that the speaker spoke about, to be able to understand that and be able to bring it to the entire organization, not just a higher level of the organization. To do that in the middle and the lower level of the organizations where a lot of the implementation happens, and the tactics and the things that they're held accountable for results. They're the ones that get held accountable for it, and the higher level C-level executives take credit for that in many different ways, and they just need to make the right higher level decisions. So I think we're in a really great place going forward. The things that are upsetting the world is impacting all of us: supply chain, the war, the climate change. I'm in Florida. We were affected, and we're affected by hurricanes coming in. Those are disruptive situations that are going to impact us more, which I'm starting to think more of that drives us to be much more flexible. Luckily, technology showed up just in time. The Zoom effect upcoming will have a diversity of platforms to step in. We can communicate a lot easier. So when we do that, we can implement faster and even better, make better decisions. So I'm very optimistic about technology showing up and the way that we're able to address it. And the things that she's talking about is more in person. How do I show up? How do I think? How do I feel? And what do I do with it?